It's the biggest hole Cambodia has ever tried to dig. A 112-mile artificial river carved straight through the heart of the country, at a cost of $1.7 billion. A man-made waterway so ambitious it could cut Cambodia's dependence on Vietnam and tie it to China for decades. But here's the thing, Cambodia already has access to the sea. So why spend billions digging a brand new river? And why is Vietnam furious enough to demand they stop? Today, we're going inside Southeast Asia's newest megaproject, a canal that could reshape trade routes, shift alliances, and even threaten the Mekong Delta's future. Southeast Asia has never been short on tension. Cambodia and Thailand have spent decades sparring over disputed territories. In 2025, the two countries even exchanged fire across the border. No major casualties, but enough to remind everyone that this is a neighborhood where conflicts can flare overnight. But the next flashpoint won't be along that water. It will be on the water. Because while border skirmishes grab headlines, it's Cambodia's economy that's quietly building the real momentum and the real risks. For years, Cambodia's economy has been one of Southeast Asia's fastest growing. In 2024, GDP surged by as much as 6.6%. In 2025, it's expected to hit 7%. The secret? Exports. Cambodia's textiles and footwear are shipped all over the globe, climbing 13% in 2024 alone. But here's the problem. Almost 70% of all exports travel the Mekong River, into Vietnam. From there, they head to Vietnamese ports before sailing to the rest of the world. And Vietnam doesn't do this for free. Border fees, port charges, dock delays, freight transfers. By the time a Cambodian shipment leaves Vietnam, it's 15 to 25% more expensive. And the Mekong itself isn't exactly reliable. In the dry season, water levels drop so low that barges have to cut their loads in half, or sit idle for weeks. In the rainy season, monsoons can strand ships for days. Every delay means storage fees, penalties, and buyers who start looking at other suppliers. Couldn't Cambodia just switch to road or rail through Thailand? In theory, yes. In reality, Thailand is a political powder keg for Cambodia. Border disputes, occasional armed clashes, and a general sense of distrust make large-scale trade risky. Laos? Landlocked. Any shipment going that way would still have to reach a Vietnamese port. And here's the irony. Cambodia does have its own seaport, the Sihanoukville Autonomous Port, a growing hub on the Gulf of Thailand. In 2024, a new container terminal pushed its capacity past 1 million containers a year, nearly 30% more than before. Plans are in place to dredge deeper channels to handle Panamax container ships by 2029. But there's a catch. The capital, Phnom Penh, home to most of Cambodia's factories, isn't connected to Sihanoukville by navigable river. The Mekong goes the wrong way, straight into Vietnam. So Cambodia came up with a radical plan: dig their own river. Officially, it's called the Techo Funan Canal, 112 miles long, 328 feet wide, 18 feet deep, built to carry ships of up to 3,000 tons from the capital straight to the Gulf of Thailand. No Vietnam, no border fees, no waiting in line at someone else's port. The canal will cut through 4 provinces: Kandal, Takeo, Kampot, and Kep. That means carving through farmland, disrupting roads, and rerouting entire communities. To keep the country moving, engineers will build 11 bridges, each tall enough to let cargo ships pass underneath. And because the land isn't flat, 3 massive lock systems will lift and lower ships between sections, just like the Panama Canal. The locks will also control water flow, keeping the canal full even in dry months, and blocking salt water from creeping inland during storms and high tides. The $1.7 billion price tag is being covered through a public-private partnership under a build-operate-transfer model. Translation: private investors, mainly from Cambodia and China, will build and run the canal for decades before handing it over to the government. Cambodia keeps 51% ownership. China, through the China Road and Bridge Corporation, gets 49%. And the timing is no accident. In 2025, during a high-profile visit from Xi Jinping, China locked in its financing role. That means this isn't just a Cambodian project, it's now part of China's Belt and Road Initiative. Right now, shipping a 20-foot container through Vietnam adds about $170 to the bill. A 40-foot container? $223. Cut Vietnam out of the picture, and those costs drop by 16%. Multiply that by 1 million containers a year, and Cambodia could save $170 million annually. The first year after completion, transport revenues are expected to grow by $80 million. By 2050, $570 million. The canal isn't only about exports. A constant water supply means farmers in Kandal and Takeo could double their crop cycles, growing rice, corn, and vegetables twice a year instead of once. New aquaculture ponds could spring up along the banks, raising fish and shrimp just like in Vietnam's Mekong Delta. Government estimates say farmers' incomes could rise by 20 to 25%, creating thousands of new jobs. There's just one problem. The Mekong isn't only Cambodia's river, it's Vietnam's lifeline, and the new canal will draw water from it. Vietnam fears reduced flow could dry out rice paddies, ruin soil fertility, and damage the Mekong Delta, a region that feeds tens of millions. Hanoi has demanded Cambodia delay construction until proper environmental studies are done. Phnom Penh insists the canal will only take 0.053% of the river's flow, too little to matter. Vietnam isn't convinced. Environmental concerns aren't the only hurdle. Cambodia has been tight-lipped about the exact canal route. Human rights groups warn that thousands could be displaced with little warning or compensation. Engineering challenges are just as daunting. High groundwater, unstable banks, and seasonal floods will test even the most experienced builders. The Chinese have built in tougher conditions before, but even they can't change the weather. For China, this canal is more than a construction project. It's a foothold. Under the Build, Operate, Transfer deal, Chinese companies could control key infrastructure here for up to 50 years. That means priority access to Cambodia's heartland, influence over trade routes, and another Belt and Road success story. Cambodia may be freeing itself from Vietnam's grip, but it's stepping deeper into Beijing's shadow. The Techo Funan Canal could be a lifeline for Cambodia's economy, or a billion-dollar misstep. If it works, it will slash costs, boost trade, and turn farmland into a food powerhouse. If it fails, it could strain relations with Vietnam, deepen dependence on China, and leave behind a half-dug scar across the countryside. In 3 years, we'll have our answer. Until then, one thing is certain. In the heart of Southeast Asia, the next great battle won't be on the border. It will be on the water.